What up? It's me, Wall Street, and I'm back again to talk to you all. And today, I'm talking about my favorite team in the entire world, my dearly beloved Washington Wizards. And I want to talk about the pool party because spring is coming, which means summer's coming next, which means people are opening up the pools, and Jordan Poole is throwing a pool party. Okay, all jokes aside, I want to talk about the feasibility and the potential that there may be for the Wizards front office to trade Jordan Poole this offseason. Because throughout the season, I've thought, Jordan Poole is a part of this team. And after they traded Kyle Kuzma, I was like, Jordan Poole is clearly a part of this team for the long haul, right? Because Kuzma, I thought, was going to be here for a while. I thought they were like, okay, this dude's the veteran. He's going to stay here. But obviously we brought in my opinion, better veteran leadership. No knock on Kyle Kuzma, but I think Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart, they're a little bit older, and they are part of winning teams, consistent winning teams. Chris Middleton being a part of that Milwaukee Bucks team that won a championship back in 2021. And, obviously they've been in contention for a long time. They've always been a serious team, at least, for the majority of the time that he was there. Obviously it took a little bit for him and Giannis to build that team up, but once they got there, they stayed there for a long time. And then Marcus Smart obviously being a big reason why the Celtics have that winning culture established right now, right? He just didn't get to see them actually win the championship, got traded to Memphis. And, I think Memphis was also a good spot for him to learn about, different types of culture and be around different guys like John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane. But I really do like those two additions to the team mainly, right? Jordan Poole was the vet before we kind of had these guys because it was like, okay, Jonas Valanciunas, miss him too. He's doing well in the Sacramento Kings, but he was also a good vet to have. But Jordan Poole was like the vet of the rookies, right? He wasn't really like a vet, but he was, he's kind of like a seasoned, right? He's won a championship, he's been with Golden State. He knows his way around stuff, right? But he was a little hot-headed last season. But this season, he's really shown a lot of improvement, both in terms of his game as well as his attitude on the court and off the court. But the reason I want to talk about whether or not he could be traded is because depending on what happens in the draft, right? Because obviously I want the Wizards to get the number 1 overall pick. I want Cooper Flagg to be a Wizard, and I think that would just be the best fit out of anyone that's available in the draft, frankly. And I also just think that would bring so much attention to DC, and we haven't had attention on DC in a long time, ever since the John Wall era where we were, making the playoffs more consistently. So I want that, that's me being a selfish fan, but, I like Cooper Flagg's game, and I feel like he's the most versatile player in this draft class. I don't know if I can say he's a generational talent, but he's definitely a perennial all-star type of talent if all of, the cylinders hit and the cards are played right. So I would like that. But obviously, if we do not get the number 1 overall pick, there's a high likelihood that we may draft a guard, right? That might be Dylan Harper if we get the number 2 or number 3 pick. That could be Kasparas Yakuchonis if we get, the 5th or 6th pick. That could be VJ Edgecombe, right? There's a lot of different guards that we could pick that are probably going to take some of the minutes away from Jordan Poole. Maybe not at first, but eventually. So 2 things here. If Jordan Poole is willing to come off the bench and just do whatever it takes to have the team win, and he's willing to just buy into whatever role he has to play, I think absolutely you do not trade him, because that is a rare thing to find, especially with his talent level, right? And he's like a perfect 6th man of the year type of player if all the cards are played right. The second thing, though, is whoever gets drafted, right, there's going to be more shots going to Alex Sarr. There's going to be more shots going to Keyshawn George. There's probably going to be more shots going to Bub Carrington. Those are the guys that we're kind of building around, right? And does Jordan Poole fit into that core, right? Or does the front office be like, listen, it'll fit if we play him on the bench unit and he's kind of the star of that unit, right? Because frankly, he's just been a guy that's been able to fill up the stat sheet in meaningless games in some sense, right? And we've seen later in the season Alex Sarr get more confident on the offensive end. We've seen Keyshawn George take more shots on the offensive end. We've seen Bub Carrington get a little bit more involved. So, like the one thing that stood out to me is I was watching the game against the Jazz, because I really don't want to have the worst record in the league. But we lost to the Jazz, so we still have the worst record in the league. But Jordan Poole played terrible in that game. Awful. He's extremely streaky, right? And I feel like that's more acceptable, and you can still win games if he's playing, like, call it 25 minutes a night as opposed to, like, 30 plus, right? He's currently playing 30.1 on the season, taking 15.8 shots per game. And he's averaging 20.5 points per game. He was doing a little bit better early in the season. He's kind of hit a rut, in my opinion. But this game against the Jazz, right, he had 2 points. And he went 1 for 11. He went 0 for 9 from 3. And I'm not trying to focus on the bad, because there are games that he has where he plays good. Like the game against Toronto, we did lose, but he only played 22 minutes, 8 of 13, 5 for 9 from 3. So he has a lot of potential. I just think, like, if we don't get Cooper Flagg, he's going to get played out of his position on some level, right? Like Dylan Harper is going to either take that role and basically be the primary ball handler of the offense. Like, I don't see any other way around it. Maybe it's not happening day one, but that's happening, right? Dylan Harper is no joke. A lot of people are saying Cooper Flagg's obviously the number 1 overall pick, but if there was anything like going on here, I would say Dylan Harper's probably that next number 1 overall pick. Like, he's really proven the difference between him and Ace Bailey over the course of the season, especially with them playing on the same team. I think most people are taking Dylan Harper over Ace Bailey. So I think Dylan Harper's solidifying himself as that number 2 overall pick. But who knows? We're not there yet, right? We still have the combine and a lot of other stuff to go down before that happens. The rest of March Madness. So there's a lot that could change. And Jordan Poole, man, he's under contract this year. Obviously, he's got next year, and then he's got the year after that. So he's still got some decent money on his deal. I don't know if this is a player that a lot of people want to trade for. He definitely wasn't last season. All of his trade value had been tanked because of just how bad he was playing on such a horrible team nonetheless, and his attitude and the stuff that was coming out was also not good. But next season, getting paid $31.8 million. Sorry. Season after that is the final year of his deal in the 26-27 season, getting paid $34 million. So I don't really know what team would be looking to trade for him either. I heard some rumors about Orlando. He would pack some more offensive firepower. Potentially that would be off the bench as well. He doesn't have to play as much defense because, well, and I shouldn't say that. He still has to play defense, but he doesn't have to be as intense on the defensive end because he has a guy like Jalen Suggs who's going to pick up the majority of the defensive slack. Jalen Suggs is a dog, right? Especially on defense. So there's a lot of different ways that this could work. I could also see Jordan Poole going to the Lakers, right? I could see him doing a lot of different things. I think he really thrives in the limelight. He thrives when the pressure's on, and he thrives in big moments, right? He takes crazy shots, but he makes a lot of them, right? He's a tough shot taker, but he's also a tough shot maker. So I don't know what the deal is. And frankly, I'll be happy if Jordan Poole stays. I'll also be happy if, Jordan Poole goes somewhere else. We trade him and we get, let's say a bunch of first round picks back, right? Or we deepen our bench, something like that. It's just, I think if this is going to happen, I think it's probably going to happen sooner rather than later. And is it possible that it happens this offseason and we trade him to get some more picks in the 2025 NBA draft? right? So I don't know, but I think it's a possibility, and it's starting to seem more and more realistic, kind of as we move through the end of the season. Just seeing, Alex Sarr's offensive advancement, right? Like, he's just gotten way more confident over the course of the season, and I think if that's the case, we're going to rely a lot less on Jordan Poole to create offense, especially if we get a guy like Cooper Flagg or Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, VJ Edgecombe, a guy that's going to come in and score, 12 to 15 plus in the first year, right? Like, then, what is Jordan Poole's role on this team, right? And what does he want for his career? Maybe he doesn't want to be on this team anymore. He wants to be somewhere where he can, win consistently, somewhere where he can be the star. I don't know. I really don't know. So it's going to be a conversation probably between him and management. I would hope that the management at least gives him the benefit of the doubt and is like, hey, we're thinking about doing this trade. Let us know what you think. Because you want to have a good relationship with these players, especially a guy like Jordan Poole, who has really improved and shown that he cares about the team. I think it's only right to do that. So let me know what you guys think, though, man. Do you think the Wizards could trade Jordan Poole this offseason? If you do, let me know what you think about a potential landing spot. What do you think a deal would look like? What do you think the Wizards need to get back in return? I want to know your thoughts, so please leave some comments down below. You know what it is. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate that. And I'm going to catch you later, man. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day you're watching. I want you to enjoy that. Please. That's all I got, guys. I'm going to catch you later. Stay safe. Handle business. Stand on business. Peace.